Hello guys, this is Atul from Be Practical Tech Solution. And now today again, we have come up with a very interesting problem. Let's see and find out the solution. Now here, let's read the statement. Given two string str1 and str2, and the third string shuffle, determine if the shuffle is a valid shuffle of s1 and s2, string 1 and string 2, where a valid shuffle contained all the characters from str1 and str2, occurring the same number of times regardless of the order. Fine. So print yes if valid and no otherwise. So basically what it is telling, like, okay, we have a two string str1 and str2, and we have a third string also that is a shuffle. Now I need to check that it is a valid shuffle. So how I'm going to say that it is a valid shuffle? So if all the characters from str1 and str2 occurring the same number of times. So it means that all the characters which are present here must be present inside the shuffle. And the number of times, if the, let's say, any of the character is occurring 2 times, then that character must be occurred 2 times in the shuffle also. One more thing is here, like, we do not need to worry about the position, because here you can see this, it is telling that it's off regardless of the order. So if it is a valid shuffle, so we have to return the value yes, and if it is a invalid shuffle, then I have to return value true. No, invalid shuffle, for we have to return false. Fine. So what can be, see here, if we need to think about the logic of this code, so it is going to be, it is going to be like, basically we have to find out the frequency of every characters, right? By any chance, if I got the frequency of every characters and check that in the shuffle, if the frequency of the characters is same what we have the frequency of str1 and str2, so it means that I can say that it is a valid shuffle. So whenever it comes to the frequency, the most commonly being used data structure we are going to use is our hash map. So let's try to understand and write the code. So here, public static, here I have to return the value string, or for a time being, okay, let's see, string is valid shuffle. And here I'm going to pass a string. It's going to be str1, then string str2, and then string shuffle. Okay. Now here, first thing what we have to do, we have to take all the, so this is going to be the same. Yep. So first we have to take all the characters from str1 and str2 and put it inside the map, so that it will give me the frequency of every characters, right? And one more thing I need to check here is like, what if the length is not same, right? What if the length is not going to be the same? So in that case, we have to simply return the known. Then I'm not going to check the whether there's the characters or the number of characters. I mean, like the shuffle is valid or not. So what I'm going to do is, like, let's say here I'm going to find out the combined length of string 1 and string 2. So let's say total length equals to str1 dot length, then plus str2 dot length. Okay, and also I'm going to get the length of the shuffle length. Here I'm going to check that is shuffle dot length. Fine. Now I'm going to check that if the total length, if it is not equals to the shuffle length, then simply I'm going to return as a return no. Okay, this is the one condition. Now what I have to do, I have to check first what we have to do. We have to put all the characters of string 1 and 2 inside the hash map. So also I have to check that if any of the characters is repeating, so that the frequency of that character should also be updated inside the hash map. So what I can do is, like, let me create one string, which is the nothing but the concatenation of these two. Okay, so let me create as a temp equals to str1 plus str2. Okay, now here I'm going to use the for loop on, but before that, let me create a one map, which is going to take the character as a key and which is going to get take the frequency as a value. Here map is equals to new hash map, like this, Control Shift O to import the package. Okay, so now here let's iterate over the string temp. So int I equals to 0, I less than temp dot length, and then I plus plus. Now here what I'm going to do, if the character is not present inside the map, then add it. Otherwise, if it is already present, then increment by 1. So here I'm going to write like if, what I can do is like if the map dot contains key, and here it is going to be the temp dot caret of I. Okay, and just simply I will make this one as a if it is not containing. So here what I can do is like I'm going to write map dot put, the key is going to be the temp dot caret of I, and the value is going to be map dot get or default, not get class, it is going to be get or default. So by default it will take the value as a 1. Sorry, map dot get or default key is going to be the temp dot caret I, and the default value is going to be the 1. Okay, but if it is present, then in that case what I have to do, else I have to update it. So map dot put temp dot caret of I, and here I will get the value map dot get, and then I will, after getting that value, I will just increment the value 1. So if it is already present, then I have to update the value. So here again I'm going to write like temp dot caret of I. Fine, so let's check that whether our all the characters has been added or not. So what we can do is like, let me print this map. Okay, let me check that all the characters and all, it is for a time being, let's say I'm going to make this one as a void. After that we will convert it again, return type as a, let me for a time being, because this is okay, I have to check this functionality. So we are getting all the characters in our map or not. So I'm going to call this function as a is valid shuffle. Okay, let's save this and now run the code. Okay, so all the characters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these characters are having a 1, 1, 1. Fine. Now next step is what we can do is like we have to check every characters from the map, from the shuffle to the map, like whether it is in whatever the characters are present in the shuffle, whether those characters are present inside the map or not. If it is present, I have to decrement it. But if any of the character which is not present, so directly I will come out. It means that it is not a valid shuffle. So here what I can do is like, here I'm going to again iterate over the shuffle string object. So int I is equals to 0, I less than shuffle dot length, then I plus plus. Okay, so here I'm going to use the same thing, that if Control V, if any of the character present inside the, instead of temp, we have to use shuffle. If any of the character is not present in the map, directly I will come out. That it means that it is a invalid shuffle. Otherwise, what I have to do, Else what I can do here is like, let me copy the same thing. Instead of now incrementing, we have to decrement that value. Control V. So make it as a -1. Okay. So if now what we can do is like, let's check that. Again, what I can do is, let me print the value map. So if it is all the characters from the shuffle is present in the map, so it means all the values becomes 0 only. So let's write. So here I'm going to write it like 1 second. Yeah. So here I'm going to print map again, save it, and now run the code. Now you can see this. It means that all these characters are present in the shuffle. So now I have to do the same thing. So here, how I'm going to conclude it, like one more for loop, I'm going to iterate over the map and check that if any, because we have to make the code as an independent of the input, right? So if any of the character count is greater than 0, it means that it is not a valid shuffle. So here what I can do is like let's say here for map dot entry, and here it is going to be character, and here it is going to be the integer. Let's say entry colon map dot entry set. Here I'm going to check that if any of the value, so entry dot get value, if any of the entry is greater than 0, I will simply return, because now we have to change it, so return no. Okay, otherwise I will return the value as a yes. So let me what we can do is, here now we can remove this statement also, and we can remove this SOP statement also. Okay, and here one more. Here I'm going to uncomment this, and simply I just need to make the return type as a word string. So let me make this one as a string. So now save it. Now let's run the code. So run the code, and let's check that. So as per this input, it needs to give me the value as a yes only. Okay, it is returning, so I have to put it inside the SOP statement. Save this and now run the code. We're getting the value yes. Okay, let's say that I'll just increase the size by adding the value d, right? Save it. We're getting the value no. So hope you guys caught this concept. This is how we can run our code, and this is the logic what we have applied. Okay, so hope you guys understood this concept, and further we are going to work on another interesting problems based on the string. Understand the concept. See you in another day. Thank you.